So we'll be looking at some features in Evernote that can be very useful to both get a file that someone may have created for you to use into your own Evernote account, as well as being able to send an Evernote straight into a folder into your Evernote account. Step 1 indicates that we have access to an Evernote, perhaps a link that someone has made available online or even sent us in an email. So to simulate this, we'll take a look at having a link provided to you on a website. So in this case, right on our Moodle course website, there's an Evernote checkoffs link. Since this is a browser, we may have different behaviors depending on the browser, and because I've created this same Evernote, it may behave differently than yours behaves when you click on this. So have a little patience if yours behaves a little differently. So here I am, I'm going to click on the link, and I see that straight away then a window pops up, and in this case it has the Evernote that was linked and created by someone else ready for me to see. One of the most important things to note is this button right here which says Save to Evernote, and that would then allow you to take the file and make your own copy to be able to use, change, whatnot in your own Evernote account. And to do a quick comparison, let me fire up Internet Explorer just to see how it looks there. So I'm at the same spot, logged into the course website. I'm going to click on the same Evernote checks. And you may get something like this the very first time you click on a link as well. It may be asking if you're brand new to Evernote and you want to create an account, or you want to sign in with an existing account. Now, because we're going to be accessing the Evernote application not through the browser, we're going to skip over this, and we just want the note to open up for a second on its own. So this now looks very similar to what it looked like in Chrome, but that extra little step, you may receive that. So you can just skip past that until you see this here. And as I'm a bigger fan of Chrome than I am of Internet Explorer, I'm going to go ahead and bring that one back over here. So this is the part that we really want to do. We want to save to Evernote this file that came from actually me. So you can actually then have a copy of this in your own. So for instance, these little checkboxes, then you can start taking advantage of your own copy in your own Evernote. So if you've not already logged on, it will ask you to type in your email address and your password. So go ahead and do that. But because we're going to be doing something a little different to taking advantage of an advanced feature of Evernote, once you've logged into your account, we're actually going to open up the real Evernote application as opposed to the web browser version. So let me go ahead and close this and close this. And our goal here was really to make sure that you could have that file saved to your Evernote. So once you've typed in your details, it should be in your account. From that point though, we want to actually close the version that's just opened up in a browser like Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, and instead go to the full Evernote application that's installed on your computer. Now remember, Evernote has created full-fledged applications that can work on iOS devices, Android devices, PCs, Macs, everybody. But you have a few extra features in that application compared to the one that you use inside of your web browser like Firefox or Chrome. So that's what we're going to focus on as a key feature going forward in this particular video. So I'm now adding this as an extra half step in between the two, because once you've made your local copy, if you now go to the Evernote program on the computer and log in there, you should see that exact same file now inside there. And I'll explain why we needed to do that as we get to that step. So I'm going to go ahead and open Evernote, the program. So notice this is the icon that you can find, or you can search for Evernote. And in the full-fledged program, it looks a little bit different than we might be used to. Now, I've gone ahead and found that exact same note that I got from Moodle, and now I'm going to be able to make some changes. So for instance, at the top it says replace this. So for your name, you want to put in your name. And for the email, again, if you would, make sure you put in your email address that you're going to be using for class. So this now is my own version of the note, and I'm allowed to change things. So this is pretty handy. And how I've designed this particular Evernote is as kind of a self-check on where you should be as of the beginning of week 3 for our course. So what I've done is I've gone through and made, instead of just text, notice that these guys have little boxes and they act as check marks. So you can go through yourself, do an evaluation of which of these things have I done and which haven't I done. The idea being, if you come across something that you can't check off, then this becomes a little bit of a list of what you should be doing to make sure you do get caught up. Okay, so for instance, have I sent an email? Did I make the beginning Evernotes? These were from week 1 and this was from week 2. Have I done 3 pre-tests from week 1, which included the course Math and Logic, the binary, and then the building Math and Logic? Have I also completed the pretest from week 2, which were 2 from the course, named number 4 and number 5? And then there are a few other things. So did I finish up the second attempt at the binary quiz after you learned what binary was? Have you completed the assignment where we looked at learning styles last week and made an Evernote there? And did you complete that first assignment you got that was probably a gold sheet for the year 1 students? That was a background assessment to find out what you knew and some background about you. Okay, so this is the same note, and the idea is I can simply check off the things that I've done, and maybe if I haven't done one, I'll leave that unchecked to say, sure enough, I haven't done that. Now, I've built right into this note some details. It says, when done with the above, follow directions to AutoSort and send this note to Mr. I's Evernote. So this is something probably new. Rather than sending an email just to someone's email account, Evernote allows you to send a file directly into an Evernote account. So this is not something that you've chosen, but when you're within the application, you can find out what Evernote has as your email address according to them. So notice it ends with evernote.com. So automatically by creating an Evernote account, you have one of these as well. And where would this be something useful? So let's say, let me shrink this for a second. Let's say, for instance, that you're browsing on your phone and you find a website that you want to reference for some kind of research that you're doing. What you can do is simply by having that email account that is associated with your Evernote, you can send a whole page straight into your Evernote account. And that's pretty handy so that you can kind of start to build up, aha, I want this reference and I want that page so that I can look at it later on when I'm ready to sit down and do all my research and perhaps comparisons too. Okay, so here I am back to this, and this is the key aspect that we need to take note of. In the application, when we choose share and send by email, it has a different look to it, one crucial piece that's different compared to the web application. So before I do that, I'm going to make sure I have the account I'm going to share this with copied. So let me highlight that and copy it. I'll go up to share and send by email. So by doing this, it now, in case that wasn't there, I could paste it in there. And this is the key piece. This is pretty clever. Evernote has taken advantage of some auto sorting features. So if you notice, it says subject line, and if I type in at something here, what Evernote will try to do is when it's bringing this to the account it's being sent to, it'll look for a folder called From Students. So simply by sending it to the proper Evernote account and putting an @ symbol, Evernote will then try to automatically sort this and put it right into a folder on that person's account. So I don't really need to add any particular message. So let me prepare this so you can see it happens as I do it. And just one extra feature that I'm going to take advantage of so that we can notice this when it actually goes into the other Evernote account is I'm going to say testing2 with the pound sign or the hashtag. And we'll see that then when we get to the account that this is being sent to. So I've got the place I'm sending it to, which is given to you right here on my file. I've added on in the subject line an @ symbol and from students. It's important to have that so it goes to the right spot. And then hashtag testing2, which will actually become then a keyword. So let me go ahead and press, and I'm going to bring up the other window. So right now I'm in the from students folder, and I've done one of these earlier today to test, but notice it just says testing without the 2. I'm now going to go ahead and choose testing2 and hit send. And that should be coming into the Mr. I game design account right now. So let me refresh. And there it is. So now notice this is then the file that I had updated right with you at the beginning of this video. So it has my details and it includes the checkboxes. So the stuff you filled out now is stored right into my Evernote account as well. And because of using the from students after the @ sign, it automatically went into the proper folder on my account. Okay, so let's do a little recap. So initially, we had access to an Evernote file that somebody had made available on a website or had given you the link in an email. In our case, it was grabbing it from Moodle. Once we did this, we wanted to save a local copy into your own Evernote account. So that should have come up as an option for you at the bottom of the file, and then you'd sign into your Evernote account. One crucial step, which was a late add-on, was to make sure for that point then you actually use the Evernote program. The reason for that is when we send a file from Evernote, the application has a subject line, whereas the web application does not. So this is a key difference. And if we want to take advantage of that AutoSort feature where it automatically puts something into the proper folder of the Evernote account, we really need that subject line. So when we do this, the browser version doesn't have a subject line, and that keeps us from doing what we wanted to. So we use the Evernote full application to do it. Okay, so if you've got questions, feel free to rewind, pause, or ask, and we'll make sure everyone gets a chance to do this in class.